Hey, welcome in. Well, leftist politicians in Canada, and actually across the entire Western world, they're the ones who started this guilt by association thing. You know, like the Freedom Convoy in Ottawa, the big protest, where you got thousands of people and they pick out one person and say that represents everybody. Yeah, it's a fun tactic for people like Trudeau and his deputy PM, of course. But I think they should get a taste of their own medicine. I came across this story. Trudeau's deputy PM participated in protest featuring what? Pro-Nazi banners and flags? What? She must be a Nazi. In fact, the whole government must be. What's that, Justin?
Mr. Speaker, Conservative Party members can stand with people who wave swastikas.
I think he might have spoke too soon. The picture comes after only weeks ago, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and the media were quick to label the trucker Freedom Convoy Nazis. Trudeau even accused a Jewish Conservative MP of standing with people who wave swastikas. Yes, he is that shameless. It's not that hard to believe if you've seen some particular photos of him. Well, let's take a look at the picture here. This was sent from Chrystia Freeland, who's the deputy PM. And she said, "We stand united. We stand with Ukraine." And then it has this underneath, Slava Ukraini, and that means glory to Ukraine. And there she is standing at this protest, and there's a red and a black banner there, which appears to say, glory to Ukraine. So how do you know this is even anything? Well, she changed the photo. Exact same tweet, but she changed the photo, and now there's no banner. That's how you know it's something. Let's see, on Sunday, Canadian Deputy Prime Minister Chrystia Freeland was photographed at a rally for Ukraine with a red and black scarf that appears to represent the colors of the Bandera movement, a far-right Ukrainian nationalist movement linked to neo-Nazis. Well, they're probably just making this all up, right? Well, let's take a look. We see a red and a black flag there, Ukrainian Insurgent Army. Let's see, a Ukrainian nationalist paramilitary and later partisan formation. It was the primary perpetrator of the ethnic cleansing of Poles in Volhynia and eastern Galicia. Let's see, outside of western Ukraine, support was not significant, and the majority of the Soviet Eastern Ukrainian population considered, and at times still viewed, to have been primarily collaborators with the Germans. That would be the Nazis. So it's a real thing. But this was long in the past. I'm sure it has nothing to do with anything going on today. But wait a second. It says Kiev City Council on the 7th of July, 2016, voted 87-10 in favor of supporting renaming Moscow Avenue to Stepan Bandera Avenue. That's right. That's Stepan Bandera from the far-right Organization of Ukrainian Nationalists. And by the way, this is not like some Russian thing either, by the way. I'm not pro-invading countries. Just so you know. And I also find it hard to believe there would be a lot of actual pro-Nazi sentiment in Ukraine, considering, well, what the Nazis did to them in World War II, which was unimaginably horrific. But nationalism I can see. In fact, the entire West is kind of cheering on Ukrainian nationalism right now, isn't it? But anyway, I think the point here is that our own politicians are hypocrites. It's very much a guilt by association for thee, but not for me situation. Let's see, it says here that also visible at the rally were many Bandera flags, representing the far-right Ukrainian nationalist movement. How about this from Candace Malcolm? Are we supposed to believe that Chrystia Freeland is ignorant to the historic red and black association with the nationalist paramilitary Bandera movement? Wouldn't a savvy journalist and astute international player know not to take a post or a photo with this scarf? And here's an interesting point. Chrystia Freeland is Ukrainian Canadian. And as the former Minister of Foreign Affairs, many wondered why someone with knowledge of Ukrainian and international politics would be willing to be photographed with and post a picture of the symbol of such a group. Now, I think it's perfectly reasonable to assume that she doesn't have a deep knowledge of Ukrainian history. And in fact, that she's not very bright anyway. And that she had no idea there was any unsavory associations involved with that scarf. But again, my point is guilt by association for thee, but not for me. In fact, let's take a look at CBC News and see if they've got anything about it. You know what? I'm going to bet they don't. So let's see, cbc.ca. We'll just type in Chrystia Freeland, and I wonder if there'll be anything about it. Because the CBC was awful quick to call the truckers extremists on very, very flimsy evidence. In fact, less evidence than this. But let's see if they have anything to say about it. What comes up when we type in Chrystia Freeland? Updates to pandemic supports. Nothing here. So let's see, March 2nd, nothing here. March 1st, nothing here. Nothing there. No. So it's just another reason to not believe a word these people say. So I guess the message is clear. I mean, if they don't like you, they'll use anything, no matter how flimsy, against you. And the media will go crazy and love it. And then, of course, if they're guilty of doing what they accuse you of doing, nobody cares. No big deal. Isn't that the way it always is? The rules that they like to use don't apply to them. Anyway, that's all I got to say about that. Please subscribe, like, and share. That really helps me out. If you just like to listen, there's the podcast Radio Baloney. It's on pretty much every platform. If you look for it, you will find it. Thank you very much. I'll see you next time.